I'm the Vice President of Development for Top Level Management. Welcome back to our Whiteboard Wednesday series on design basics. Today we're going to be talking about part number 3. Please keep in mind that this is a 4-part series, so if you missed parts 1 and 2 on the analysis phase and on the design phase, you'll want to go back and watch those because you'll want to follow these steps in order. So part number 3 is development. So now we're going to look at content placement. So you have all of this content. This is the step where you take it and you start to organize it. So you may be organizing it to put it into storyboards for a video shoot, for example, or you may be organizing it into storyboards to build an online class, or even a webinar. So you may be organizing that content to drop into PowerPoint slides. 3 things to keep in mind when you're organizing your content. Flow. Does it flow and is it consistent? So does the subject matter flow and make sense to the learner, or are you jumping around all over the place? Are you consistent with everything else in your organization? So you want to make sure as you start dropping this content in, are you consistent with, say, what's in the operations manual? Because the last thing that you want to do is get a call after a webinar telling you that you've contradicted yourself with something that's in the operations manual. 4th is engagement. This is where the fun starts. And remembering the 3 R's, recall, review, revisit. This is when you can build in activities. So if you're using a webinar, you may build in that polling feature or using that whiteboard feature. If you're in a classroom, you may want to incorporate a role play or even homework so that they have to revisit that content. By revisiting it, engaging your learner with the content, you're going to push that content from short-term memory to long-term memory, increasing the likelihood that they'll use it on the job. And lastly, instruction and testing. If you're using technology, this is vitally important. If you're using the use of video in your webinar, for example, or if you're using an online class, there may be a need for you to write out instructions for your learner to be able to access that. And then you also want to make sure that you test that so when you move into the next phase, you don't run into a glitch with implementation. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you next time for part number 4.